So this is the final round of the Pro League game, the Pro League final versus Gambit. It's map 5 and we've been playing for soon 7 hours, so people are kind of tired, but we're leading 15-6 and we're close to getting one of the biggest trophies of our careers. We're in the situation where we had an insanely good CT half, and now it's my role as the in-game leader and as the captain to call home the victory. In this scenario, we don't have enough money to buy. As you can see, Gambit, they have full utility. They have AWPs, 2 of them. There's a good chance that we should just do an eco round. So you can see I'm looking around at my teammates, common strategy. I'm calling some moves, what to do, how we're going to secure this plant, and the 800 extra money that it provides. So like that's the main objective with the round. The goal is not to win, the goal is to secure more money for the next weapon round. One of the things that's actually just struck me now is that this eco strategy, it's like spawn based, right? So it's depending on where you stand when the round begins. If the dice was rolled a little bit different and someone else would have this spawn, I would never have been the guy running towards B and this clutch would never have happened. So that's just a little bit fun to think about. But I'm very known in my team for buying like troll decoys. Like sometimes I'm gonna throw them and my teammates don't even know it's mine and they panic a bit. But you can see I throw this decoy towards B just to make some sound. It's gonna shoot, make some distractions. I run down into underground here and now you can see I'm getting volleyed, I'm shooting, and they're also nading me, right? Shiro on window and Nafani and connector at their place, right? And they're all focusing on middle. I'm one guy distracting 3 players. So this means that Hobbit, who's standing here on the ticket area, he's completely alone and he has to fight 4 guys coming out A trying to get the bomb plant. So as I'm getting mollied, I don't see any reasoning to just run forward and die. I've done my job. On Stown coming up slope and he gets more kills. They're just running out, they're trying to plant the bomb. They're just dying, my boys, and a good kill from Reffe. And while all this is happening, as you can see, I'm just running out B. As Refresh dies now, I'm 1 against 4 with a P250. They've known my position for a while. There's literally 0 chances of winning, so I'm actually considering just running out and just dying. Like, let's get it on, let's go to the next round. We've been playing for 7 hours, this is not the round that I'm gonna win. But then I thought to myself that maybe, just maybe I can get 1 kill and hurt their economy a little bit, steal a weapon, something like that. So I start sneaking and hoping that I can kind of find a loophole in their defense. And sneaking here, looking, and here this is the first time I have contact, like visual contact with the enemy. And it's Shiro who has his back turned. So my first thought when I'm playing a pro game and I see someone with their back turned in a situation like this is, his back is turned because someone is watching his back, right? So who was watching his back? Well, if you open the map here, you can see Exile was watching his map. He was short and he pushed middle all the way here. So Exile is calling that there's no way I can be behind probably. And I don't know this at this point, but that's why when I go here, I'm not looking for just this 1 kill. I'm looking to see if I can get more, right? So I'm looking for connector, I don't see anyone. And this is where I pull out the karambit and I go for the knife. And many people have asked me, why did you do it? There's like different reasons, right? One of them is obviously the economy, which we talked about from the beginning of the round. It's the main goal. You get way more money for knifing an opponent than just killing him. The second is also like to show a bit of like dominance towards my opponent, because it's never fun to get knifed and we're in the 5th map of a final and I want to show that I'm not scared to make moves to take chances. And there's also a slight chance that like if I shoot him, the orb is just gonna fall down into sandwich and I won't get it. So I see the guy in Palace, I knife this guy, and then what I want to do is I want to get the orb and then strafe in behind stairs, right? I hit my console button and I can't strafe in as clean as I would like, but I pick it up, I go for this peek, get this kill on Nafani who's like over peeking. He's like, oh, this guy is low HP, he just has a pistol, maybe he picked up the orb, but let's just peek him together. And as soon as I got that kill on Nafani, I had a feeling that I was gonna win it, because he was being overly aggressive. And as soon as you give me a finger, I'm gonna grab your whole hand. So what happens is I go up here, I hit Inter's first bullet through the boxes, I hear that, like some blood splashing. It makes like a sound when you hit someone through a box. I go for a second one, and this is where the adrenaline is really pumping, because so many things has happened in the last 15 seconds, right? A knife kill, Nafani pushing me, picking up the orb, going behind stairs, double wall bang. And right now I'm looking for the last player, and Refresh, I was asking, do you know where he is? Do you have any clue where he is? And Refresh told me that he might have seen his head behind the boxes inside. So that's why I'm molly to see if he's there. He's not peeking. And then I and the team come to the conclusion that he must have been like holding the flank from somewhere. And as I don't see him, to me that means that he must have pushed T-spawn. And I'm thinking he's like A-apps or slope. So as I'm looking here, I don't see him apps, I don't see him sandwich. And again, this is like a full intuition play. So you ask me why I'm making like this kind of info jump, right? Because I'm not trying to jump to Tetris, but I'm just like trying to jump if I can see him on top of the boxes. And I do that there, see the top of his head. He knows that I've spotted him. And this is where the tension just rises for every second that I'm just watching with the scope creeping. He knows that I'm coming for him. So I'm afraid that he's gonna wide peek and just strafe at me. And he's afraid that he's just gonna sit in the corner and wait and gonna get peeked by an orb, right? So the games begin here. I'm watching, and I feel like if I don't see him, he must be jumping up at some point, and he does. And at the perfect timing, I flick up, and yeah, that's where it ends. So if I would have to give any tips to people who watch this clutch and things that you could maybe include in your own clutching, I would say that there's like two things which is very important to focus on. One of them is that when you're alone against multiple players, what you really want is to try and isolate fights and make sure that they can't fight you at the same time. And I make that happen with having the stairs, which I can like hide in and peek out from. The second part that I really want to emphasize is you are in a clutch like this, it's important to try and visualize what the movement of the opponents can be. Because if you're just like full on guessing all the time, the chances of figuring out where the opponent can be is simply very low. So for me, what gave away Exile's position, you have to rewind all the way back to the first kill, right? From where Shiro had his back turned to a position, I figured out that Exile must have been covering this, and that's the reason why I in the end made that kind of information jump, figured out where he was and punished him. The position of how a guy looks, if a guy has his back turned, you need to think about that some teammate is probably watching his flank and what position could he have. Thank you so much for watching this guide on how the clutch happened. I hope that this is going to give you some extra power in your clutching abilities.